Hi there, and welcome to my game review for Les Misérables, Cosette's Fate. In this review, I'll explain what this game is, what to expect, and if it is a game I recommend to you. Now, onto the review. What is Les Misérables, Cosette's Fate? Les Misérables, Cosette's Fate is a hidden object and point-and-click style game. This game is based around the titular novel and musical Les Misérables. In particular, the game focuses on the story through Cosette's part in the story, starting with her story, with the time she spent with the Thénardiers, through to the end-ish of the novel. As a hidden object game, I feel that it does quite well, as the game features a selection of different hidden object scenes. The game does also include puzzles, which can be difficult at times. In the hidden object scenes, you have to find a set amount of items on the bottom of the screen, which you have to find. But on this game, I like how some of the items you have to find a way to make them. Taking one instance as an example, you have to get pieces of an apple. To do this, you have to find a way to chop the apple on the scene to get the apple pieces. I like these puzzles as they are clever and add more depth to the game, although sometimes there is pluralism issues, as in one instance you are asked to find a knife. However, there are two knives to choose from, and you don't know which one to pick at first, when the game just wants you to find a cutlery knife. This game is also a point-and-click game, as you have to navigate around the various areas featured in-game. I dislike the amount of backtracking in the game, since you cannot play scenes in one go. The game will allow you to do a hidden object scene or puzzle in one area. Then when you complete it, you receive an item that is required to be used in another area. Although in some instances, you will have to go back to areas to find another item that is needed. I think that the game should have allowed you to fast travel to areas that you have previously visited, as it would make the game quicker and easier for many players. However, this game is buggy around puzzles. In this game, if you fail to complete a puzzle and you shut the game down, or alternatively click on the book on the right hand side, as clicking on the book takes you to the main menu, which is annoying as the game doesn't provide any hint of what the book icon is for. If this happens, you'll be stuck on that screen forever, unless of course you start from scratch, which for many will be an annoyance. In mini-games that are present in the game, there is little to no hints on what to do or how to solve or complete them. There is a bar that acts as a timer for the mini games. However, if a bar goes green at the end of the bar, nothing happens. Also, the hints sometimes aren't that helpful, as it will only circle one item. However, a hint will be used if an item you require is hidden by cover, as the hint will tell you to move the cover, but the game won't show you where the item is. I also like the point and click aspect of the game, as you get to explore areas such as the inn and surrounding buildings which are of interest. The artwork for the game is quite good, and the environments themselves are eventful. The kitchen at the inn is a good example of this, as in the kitchen there is a rat that scurries around the floor. I liked the details, as it provided some more colour into the environment, instead of it being a static, lifeless background. For the story the game is based on, this game does take various liberties of the story and makes various changes, such as the events that happened at the Thénardiers inn and when she first meets Jean Valjean. But one thing I do like is how there is slides that explain what has happened during the story. I appreciated this, as unlike some story-based games, this game does provide slides in which it explains the transition between what is happening to the story during the route to the next level. I liked it, but I felt it was dull, as it is in black and white and is reminiscent of older films. I think it is dull, as there are no images or a voiceover to accompany the transition. Comparing it to other story-based games, particularly the older Harry Potter games, such as Philosopher's Stone, which is a great example of this, as Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone provided images and a voiceover explaining what was happening. The differences between the two games with regards to explaining the story is huge. However, there is one thing about the representation of the story given by the game I don't like. It is that this game expects you to have seen the music musical or read the novel before playing the game. This is because it gives spoilers to the ending midway through the game. Also, this game sadly also ends inconclusively, which I felt was a letdown, as it ends abruptly. There is no explanation as to what happens to Cosette and Marius, although it does give a blunt version of what happens to Jean Valjean, but I do like the facts given about the Les Misérables story, or the author Victor Hugo. Facts are provided when you click on the butterflies that are located in the environment. In short, I feel that Les Misérables Cosette's Fate isn't worth buying, considering that the game is short and can be finished in 2 hours. Sadly, once you have played through the game once, there is little reason to replay it, mainly because you have seen and done everything there is to do. Unfortunately, there are no new difficulty modes or extra content to unlock in the game. Despite the criticisms I have for this game, I feel that if this game is given away, is on sale, or is part of a bundle, then I feel it might be worth spending a rainy afternoon on it. Whilst I don't think it is particularly brilliant or bad, it is a decent enough game, although I feel that if you've read the novel or seen the musical it is based on, you will probably get much more than I did from this game.